Welcome to a city full of rich culture, delicious pretzels, and a festival that, despite its name, doesn't occur entirely in October. Welcome to Munich.
Good morning guys from Munich, our official stop number 5? Anyways, it's actually late today. We normally, as you would know if you've been watching our videos, get up very early, head out before everyone else, enjoy the city while it's quiet, but today we decided to have a bit of a sleep in, and I say sleep in lightly. Our alarm was 7:30, which is not a sleep in for most people, but when you've been waking up at what, 6:30 every day, was a sleep in. We had a very slow morning. We had a bit of a rough morning. We checked into our hotel at about 8 p.m. last night. Our bus ride was pretty good. I had some drama before we even took off because this girl was waiting for her friends and they hadn't arrived. She was begging the bus driver to wait for them and he was yelling and it was a whole thing, but she got one of her friends on board and it seemed like they were still missing someone else, so that was a whole drama, but we made it. We arrived at our hotel and we both thought we were in the wrong place because it looked very fancy and we're on a budget, so fancy's not really in our, it's not expected, but it was fancy. We did book it, double checked, but we have worked out the flaws since, so Wi-Fi doesn't work. We can't even do a Google search, so that's been hard, which is not the end of the world, but does make what we're doing quite hard. But we did see someone up at the front desk say something about it, so it's not just us, and hopefully it's just like a glitch in the system or something like that and we'll get rectified. But the positive is that it does work very well in the lobby, so we were able to upload a video this morning. It's funny, we had it uploading all night and it got to 10%, which is pretty crazy, and then we went downstairs and within 5 minutes it jumped up 40%, so it must be kind of a floor thing. But yeah, like I said, it's setting off late today. It's about 10:30 and we've left the hotel now, and we're gonna go hit up the main square of Munich and do some of the traditional touristy things here. And it's meant to be a very hot day, so we're expecting a lot of sun, a lot of sweat, but we're very excited.
We've just got off the train, out of the train station, and immediately as you come out off the escalators, you are straight away surrounded by old style buildings. You walk straight into this square. It's already pretty impressive. What's on your face? Are you drooling a little bit?
Guys, it's not my morning. I got sunscreen all over my top.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to interrupt this program because what the heck is that? Something's going on. I don't know if you can see behind me, if not I'll put in B-roll, but there is some sort of UFO, spaceship, rocket, comet type thing up in the sky right there. I don't know if you can see that. I swear there is something going on. You saw it here first.
Back to me. Not my morning so far. Like I said, spilt sunscreen all on my top, which turns out doesn't rub off very easily. Just spilt. Yes, I can see.
No, there's another thing in the sky.
Yeah, okay.
What is that?
So I filled, in our room this morning, there were 2 bottles of water. Filled up our handy dandy drink bottles. It's sparkling water. I don't like sparkling water. When it's 26 degrees and I'm thirsty, I really don't want sparkling water, but that's what we've got for the day. And I also just spilt it all down my front, so I'm having a good morning. The other thing that went wrong at the hotel this morning is about 9 o'clock, which is about half an hour before breakfast ends, we suddenly realized we had breakfast included. So we thought, and we got so excited. We've been having bananas for breakfast, so we were very excited. Quickly got dressed, sprinted downstairs. We could smell it, smelled so good, and then found out we didn't have breakfast included. Others did. It was very sad.
I could have cried.
So that's why I'm in a very bad mood and things keep going wrong. But regardless, we're here in Marienplatz, which is the main square here. It's very, very beautiful.
There's even someone here with a really professional camera, probably filming the UFO.
It just has to be fancier than ours, doesn't it? Get the gimbal out. That's fine.
You got it.
Okay guys, like we said, we're in Marienplatz, which is the center of Munich, the main square, and it's named after this thing up here. Now I've got glasses on so I can't see if you can see it. So that is the Virgin Mary up there on the top in gold. Hopefully you can see it, and that is what this square is named after. So actually Rosh looked up, if you were to Google the distance from say Munich to somewhere else, they will measure it from this square, which is pretty cool.
You're stealing my fun facts. The people love my fun fact segment.
Okay guys, behind me is the town hall. You can't see it because it's very tall. Built in 1874, but it's still one of the kind of most visited landmarks here in Munich. It is known for two key things. One, this really big tower, which you can actually climb up, and also the Glockenspiel, which is about here. And at 11 and 12 p.m. every day, there are some little kind of animatronic type things in there that put on a bit of a dance and a show. So we'll hopefully see that at 12. We did miss the 11 o'clock, but yes.
I think the little animatronics that you're referring to, I think I read online that it's representing a certain jousting tournament that happened way back when. You know, not to trust me though.
You heard it here first. Okay guys, there's definitely a crowd building now in front of the new town hall, as it's 2 minutes to 12. Probably not as many people as there were in front of the astronomical clock on the hour every hour in Prague, but definitely a crowd building up now. Guys, the clock is very delayed. It's now 12:02 and it's not struck 12 yet. You can hear the church bells everywhere else going off. I think they probably need to sync up with Apple time.
Guys, I was right, it was jousting.
Okay guys, you may still be able to hear the Glockenspiel is still going. It's been over 5 minutes. Would like to note, not on Apple time. Went off at about 12:03 is when it started. Everyone, all the other church bells and everything had been going off for minutes. So it is a bit delayed. Not sure if that's a regular thing, or probably if the clock's delayed. But it was very cool that the kind of dancing things. Clarify a point I made earlier. I said you could see the Glockenspiel. I meant you could see the characters that dance while the Glockenspiel plays. So just a clarification. But it's very beautiful. It's definitely a long thing. People keep clapping thinking it's done. I'm not sure if it's one of those instances where people are clapping being like, come on, wrap it up. But no, it is very beautiful.
And now we are about to climb all the way to the top of St. Peter's Church, and I am told it's at around 299 steps. Yay! That's one floor done. Six floors done. I'm not gonna make it. So we've made it to the top. We need a little break.
We have made it to the top and there is a beautiful view, definitely worth the 299 steps. Not for the faint of heart. You can't really brake either because everyone's walking behind you, but we made it. Doesn't take very long to come up. What, 5-10 minutes?
Now, as you know, I have a really bad fear of heights, so you're probably wondering, like, why does she keep doing stuff like this? And the answer is, she makes me. But look, it is worth it. It wasn't bad coming up because you don't see how high up you are. Walking out onto the lookout, however, was really bad. Really terrifying. I'm not enjoying it a huge amount. Nah, I mean, to be fair, the views are really nice. As they said, it was pretty hard work coming all the way to the top. However, the steps are pretty short, so 299 steps sounds like a lot, but it's probably not that many regular size steps.
There are amazing panoramic views of Munich up here, and we can see all these sites we are yet to go and see. Okay, we have descended down from the tower in St. Peter's Church. Somehow coming down a lot easier, who'd have thought, but my calves actually now feel like they're going to cramp. You can't win, but you do exit via the church. So as you come down, there is a sign to be silent when you're in the church. Very beautiful, obviously, as most churches are on the inside. I also realised this morning I said we had a horrible morning and the only thing I mentioned was the Wi-Fi. I since mentioned the second thing, which is that we thought we had free breakfast and then didn't. But I remember the third thing now is that as we were getting dressed this morning, we came to realise that we think some of our clothes have shrunk in the wash in Prague. Now, I don't know if we mentioned the disaster of a wash that happened in Prague. The wash bit, it said it would dispense soap. Not convinced it dispensed soap automatically, but anyways. Put it in the dryer, it was a 45-minute cycle. I picked the second highest heat, learnt my lesson after Amsterdam where I had to run it like 3 times. So 45 minutes, second highest heat, it came out saturated. So I don't know which part of if it was the wash or the dry cycle that has shrunk our clothes. Surely not the dry cycle given they were saturated, but that was the other reason our morning was so horrible. Okay, we've now wandered over not too far from Marienplatz or St. Peter's Church to the Victualian Market, which has heaps of different stalls. There's all this fresh fruit, cheese, bread, and there's some food stalls as well with your currywurst, schnitzel, pretzels, and of course, beer. So we're going to stop here for some lunch. What better to get for lunch in Munich than a giant pretzel?
As they said earlier this morning, it's a hot one today in Munich, so we're wandering to a supermarket now to get some drinks. We need to stay hydrated. Stacey's pretzel had a lot of salt on it, so I'm a little bit concerned that that's going to affect her. Alright guys, we've picked up some drinks and have walked to Munich's Frauenkirche. Sorry if I didn't pronounce that right, but it's this massive cathedral with these 2 massive towers that you can see from pretty far away, no matter where you are. I've been doing a bit of research. It was built in 1488, so another building that's over 600 years old, and it only took 20 years to build. Legend has it, the architect made a deal with the devil. The devil would fund the building of the cathedral so that it would only take 20 years, as long as the architect didn't put in any windows. The architect tricked the devil, put some windows in, and when the devil found out, he was so angry that he'd been tricked, he stomped his foot in the ground, and you can see that impression on the entrance into the cathedral. Now the cathedral, most of it was destroyed in World War II. The only thing that remained were these 2 massive towers, and you can see evidence of that as you walk inside because it's very plain, which is kind of sad, but it's pretty amazing that these things held up. There's also this really pretty water feature at the front of the Frauenkirche in the shade, so we're going to sit here and chill for a little bit because it's getting pretty hot. We are now going for a walk to the English Gardens. It is about a 1.8 kilometre walk from Frauenkirche, and look, the weather's quite nice now. There is a cool breeze, so that's what's keeping us going, and the Coca-Cola, of course. We're en route to the English Gardens and have come across the Feldherrn Hall, hopefully I've said that right. This giant monument behind me, which was originally built to honour the Bavarian army, and then during the Nazi era it was actually a monument to remember the lives of 16 Nazis who died. So it's got a bit of a mixed history, but post World War II it was transformed back into its original state, and it is a very beautiful monument. Guys, we have made it to the English Gardens, and right behind me is an artificial river that they have made where people can actually surf, like legit surf, surfboards, surfing the waves, and then it just carries people down the riverbank. There are so many people here in their bathers coming for a swim. I'm a little bit jealous. We didn't really think about that. It's a great idea though. It's a good day for it too. Alright guys, we've finished up at the English Gardens and now we are walking towards the place that we're going to for dinner. I think you're going to like it. It's somewhere that you apparently have to go to if you come to Munich. Guys, we have come to the Hofbräu house for dinner tonight. I'm going to hit you with some quick fun facts because that is what I've decided is my thing now. I'm the fun fact person. Just maybe like cross-check, just in case. But first fun fact is that this place was opened in 1607, and at that time only the royal family were allowed to come in, the public weren't allowed to. And then in 1820, so over 200 years later, the king at the time opened it up to the public as part of his wedding celebration. The year after that, they had an annual celebration for his wedding, and that is how Oktoberfest began. The Hofbrauhaus though is not without its dark history. This is actually where Hitler and his associates founded the Nazi Party in 1920. Well, that's the history of the Hofbrauhaus. It is now most well known for a place where you come, get a beer, enjoy the music and the lively atmosphere. I don't even like beer, but disgusting. Magic transition.
Okay guys, we both got my vegetarian meals actually. I've got the Schnitzel. It's 100% the correct pronunciation, but essentially like noodles with like an egg mix, so sounds like mac and cheese to me. And Rosh got ram schwammel. Okay guys, we finished up at the Hofbrauhaus. We had a very delicious dinner and we shared a beer. We both hate beer, so we shared one because it's part of the experience. But it was very good. The music started up at about 6 p.m, which definitely added to the atmosphere. And also, I think just to clarify, so the Hofbrauhaus is like a beer hall. So I believe it's 3 stories, and you go in, you drink beer, and you eat, and it's a very cool atmosphere. But now we're on our way home because we've been out since about 10 a.m. this morning. It's now 6:30, so almost our biggest day. If not, it is our biggest day yet, so we're very exhausted.
Also, it was really funny because the waiter kept calling me lady. He'd be like, lady. It was really funny. Maybe you had to be there. We had come to the supermarket to get some breakfast for tomorrow because our room doesn't have a mini fridge or a microwave or a kettle. So we're kind of limited in what we can do. We've got some grapes. We've got mochi. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of Japanese food here. Mochi, and then there's gyoza and sushi over there.
Okay guys, we are back now in the room. We picked up some goodies for dinner and some snacks. And that was a very jam-packed first full day here in Munich. We had a great day. Make sure if you enjoyed, you like the video, subscribe to our channel. We're traveling for 12 months and we're only 2.5 weeks in, so plenty more adventures to come. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.